between police and protesters. Now you're seeing more and more protesters coming back. We've seen one person under arrest so far. We can't see the rest of them. However, look over there, Alex, to the right. There is a very large grouping of police now moving in with batons and with shields. They are moving to provide now a rear support guard for the police that are there. You can see state police. You can see Newark, New Jersey police. I don't know who those new police are. They're in tactical gear, so it may be a SWAT team of some sort. But they are moving in. I will tell you, Catherine, the number of protesters left before this happened was relatively small. I think the last time you and I were talking was probably about 100, 125. By the time we left, it was well under that. There are far more police here than there were protesters. What you're looking at to the left of the scene, you see all those police. It's hard to see because it's dark, but to the left of it is the entrance to Delaney Hall. Earlier, when we saw one of the detainees being released, it was from that part. Just beyond that is the Welcome Center, the support center for the families of detainees, where they provide food and support for them. That's where everything has stopped, and we're not quite sure why it stopped at this point. We are being asked by police to move back, so I'm going to be doing that. Can we stay here?
Just be advised, everything is recorded. I'm at BWC.
Understood.
I need y'all to step back. That's it.
How far do you need us to step back?
They want everybody back. Everybody.
Got it. We are pressed, though. Can we stay where we are?
I know. They want everybody to step back.
Okay. Any sense of how far we need to step back?
Well, we have to push y'all all the way back.
All right. Are you able to tell us what is happening there? Because we're trying to.
I just got called in for a backup, sir. That's it.
Okay. Is this okay if we stay here?
Right, you can back all the way up past that.
All right. Well, unfortunately, we won't be able to cover it if we go that far back. We don't want to get anybody's way, but we won't be able to cover it if we go that far back. All right. So are we good now?
Yeah, back them up. Yeah.
All right.
The press, back them
All right. So you hear what's going on here. They are asking us all to back up. The rules around here are that you can't interfere with the coverage of law enforcement, so law enforcement is asking us to back up. We are asking them, do you know why we're being removed?
Keep going.
Can you tell us what's going on behind you? Okay. How far do we need to go back?
Y'all going all the way down there. All the way back.
All right. So that impedes our ability to talk about what's going on. Okay. Do you know if anybody, are you making arrests? All right. Well, as you can see, Catherine, we're not getting a response as to what is happening here. We are being pushed back, however. We can still see there is more police presence that is gathering on the scene. We're still seeing more police. We're not seeing what looks like a lot of interaction between police and protesters. I did see one arrest. I haven't seen more since then. But this is the situation. These police are being very professional about it, but there are 7 police escorting me back to make sure that I'm doing this. I'm not sure how far back we're supposed to go. We're not doing anything to impede law enforcement, nor do we wish to. But we don't have any real guidance as to how far back. I think we're pretty far back, guys. Are we okay here? I mean, the road's several miles. How far back are we going? Okay. Are you guys going to walk with us for all the time? All right. Well, I guess we're going to have a police escort all the way back. I'm trying to keep an eye on it. I have a direct line of sight to what's going on. There does not appear to be any. Thank you. Does not appear to be any dispersal of the police. In fact, we're seeing more police moving in to the scene. We are seeing. Let's look across the road there, Alex. Go ahead, Catherine.
Are there other members of the press there? Or is it just you?
There are, and we are the only ones exactly where we are, but there is other media in the area. In fact, I sort of observed earlier. In fact, it might be worth, Alex, just turning around for a second and getting a sense of how many police cars, how many police vehicles there are here. I mean, Catherine, this is the sort of presence that one would have been used to in New York City after 9/11, when they used to do those Cobra exercises where they would converge to simulate a terrorist response. I mean, there are more police cars here than there probably were protesters at this point. But as you can see, the police are removing the press from the scene very, very seriously. If Alex were to turn around again, and I don't want you to injure yourself, Alex, all of these police are walking us back. Just to be clear, there is no one else here. There's no one behind us.
It's
my producer, it's our security, and our camera. Yeah. That's correct. That's it. All of these police are walking us back. Just to be clear, as you've seen, we're not resisting walking back. I am trying to ask why we're being removed and how far we have to go. This is a road that is several miles long, so I have no idea how far back we're going to go. We are effectively out of the line of sight of what's going on, which is part of the whole problem with this story, Catherine, that we can't bear witness to it. Elected representatives can't bear witness to it. We hear there are hunger strikes. We hear that there's mistreatment inside. Might be true, might not be true. ICE and DHS say it's not true. We don't know. And when we try and report on the story, this is what happens. Again, everybody's being very professional here, but I haven't had this much attention in a long time. I mean, this is more viewers than I sometimes get, I'm sure. There are a lot of police who are very clear on walking us back.
Ali, can I just talk to you about something at the very beginning? You said that police removed the barricades and police took the barricades down?
Yes.
Because
the police, yes. So what had happened, the whole idea was that people were getting, in the opinion of the governor, too close to the facility. So they brought in the state police to act as a buffer between protesters and ICE. Then that didn't work out last night. They had a lot of tension, so they brought in Newark police, Bellevue police, local police. They also have state police here, but they were not in the front lines. But they created barricades. So there was a barricade, and then generally 6 to 10 feet on the other side of that barricade is where the police would be. So there was no less than 10 or 12 feet between protesters and police almost at any time. And that
more than 10 or 12 people that were protesting.
No.
Hold on.
Face.
That's an absolute lie.
I wish.
You just lied on camera.
Well, what did I just say?
You just said there were 10 or 12 protesters.
Can I hold on for a second? I actually said there was never more than 10 or 12 feet
This is the problem
between
why this shit happened.
All right, well, there you go. 10 or 12, there was never more than
Everyone's
10
a
or 12
critic.
feet between
Everyone's a
protesters.
critic, Ali.
I told you there were no counter-protesters left. There's at least one counter-protester left.
Ali, it's Pablo
we just heard
Torre.
another flashbang, so there's... Hi, Pablo. Okay, that's another flashbang now, so we're continuing to third flashbang in a row.
Yeah. It's hard not to watch you and think of how you are living the meta conversation around the story while covering the story.
Yes,
the whole point has been...
I literally was saying there was 10 or 12 feet, and he said there were 10 or 12 protesters.
Yes, we all heard you very clearly. That gentleman decided to, I think, embody an internet commenter in real life, which is a surreal experience for you, I'm sure, as you're covering a real serious event. But the idea here, just to reset us, this is a warehouse that has been used to house people who are now getting the word out, alleging that they are being mistreated. Worms in the food. There's a hunger strike.
I want to make this point that you're making. If you look over here, you see containers, right? This is around Newark Airport. This is containers, shipping, and warehouses. That's what this is. There's no houses here. There's no residential stuff. There are no restaurants around us. There are some gas stations. These are warehouses. Delaney is a warehouse that is housing people, and there are allegations, as there have been in other federal detention centers, that the conditions are not suitable for people. Not just all people, but there are some young people, there are some older people in here, there are some ill people, there are pregnant people, and so a lot of these protesters are, can we get them health care, can we get them inspected, and can we see what this facility looks like? When you're standing outside of it, Pablo, it looks like a warehouse, like any other warehouse. And the allegation is that it's actually a warehouse, and that's what it looks like inside, divided into cells without proper sanitation, without enough toilets, without enough sanitation for everyone. And this whole thing revolves around trying to get proper information about what's going on in there. And that's what we can't get. Proper information is the thing that's missing and that we're trying to do. But as you can now see, these police officers continue to walk us back. I guess we're all getting our steps in tonight.